The largest island in the Mediterranean has a long history of cheese making dating back thousands of years. The cheeses here have been influenced by the Greeks, the Romans, the Arabs, the Normans, the Spanish, and today they're Italian. Welcome to Sicily. This island is like no other region of Italy. It's well known for its breathtaking landscapes, beautiful coastline, fertile soils, and sunny climate. Sicily sits in the central Mediterranean at the toe end of the boot of Italy. Its strategic location was once a crucial trading link between North Africa and Europe. Cheese-making here dates back to when the island was ruled by the ancient Greeks and is now the second largest producer of used milk in Italy after Sardinia. These cheeses are collectively known as Pecorino Siciliano, and they're made all over the island in a confusing variety of shapes and sizes. One of the surprising things about the Pecorino made here is the different flavourings. You find cheeses made with pepper and chili quite commonly, but they also use basil, saffron, sometimes they use pistachio nuts, and this town of Bompietro behind me even use orange peel. Bompietro is a small village in the Alta Modone region where a consortium specialise in making Pecorino Siciliano for export. The modern dairy and shop just outside the town is run by the mayor and handles up to 5,000 litres of used milk a day at the height of the season in late spring. It specialises in making Pecorino Siciliano for export.
The character of our milk is different from that produced by other sheep, as they graze only in the natural mountains here in the Madonie. The conditions are always good. As you can see, we only have a small amount of sheep, around 40 to 50. They graze only on the herbs, and for this, they are very healthy. This gives the milk a most particular flavour.
And when it comes to added flavour, this dairy's claim to fame is the use of orange peel. Interesting. Bueno.
The addition of the orange peel is unique to us. Its flavouring is typical of the Sicilian tradition. Here we have the aged cheese. It is aged for a minimum of 18 months. After this time, it takes on the flavour of Parmigiano Reggiano. It has a particularly strong flavour.
It's hot. Picante. Picante.
Molto picante.
Molto. Adding flavours like orange peel to enhance the taste of Pecorino is certainly an original idea, but I'm not very sure it would appeal to everyone. One of the nice things about making Pecorino is that nothing is wasted. After the cheese has been made, the whey is heated up for 20 minutes. Milk is added, and all the little particles of curd rise to the surface. That's how you make the best ricotta. The curds are then very gently ladled into baskets and allowed to drain, and the remaining whey is collected for feed to the local pigs. Perhaps that's one of the secrets behind the flavour of Italy's famous cured hams and salamis. Now, any Italian will tell you that the best way to try ricotta is straight from the vat, particularly when it's made with used milk. And they're right. Sicily is the largest autonomous region in Italy. Its diverse culture has been strongly influenced by a succession of foreign rulers over the past 25 centuries. Sicily boasts a number of rare native milking breeds of sheep. I was lucky enough to be invited to a farm in the hinterland province of Enna, which makes a very traditional Sicilian saffron-flavored cheese using the raw milk of red-faced ewes. The use of saffron as a flavour dates back to the 9th century, when the Arabs ruled the island. But today, this is the only dairy still making this cheese the old-fashioned way, with a wooden vat and authentic rush baskets. The cheese here is made only with ewe's milk from the farm. And of course, the saffron is grown on the property as well. So these are the famous saffron fields?
Yes, yes. Now it is, of course, difficult to imagine that there are thousands and thousands of flowers appearing from the ground. To have good saffron, you have to go very, very early in the morning and start doing very hard work with 2,000 and 3,000 flowers each day.
The farm milks 500 ewes, and in this part of the world, it appears that sorting the sheep is definitely up to the goats. It's the clever goats who guide the sheep to good pasture, and they have an important sacrificial role as well. But more about that in a minute.
We breed sheep from, they're called comisane. Their wool is not so precious as their milk, and they eat what they want, the grass that they prefer, and this helps us to make very good cheese.
The raw milk is gently heated to just under 36 degrees Celsius. Homemade starter and natural rennet made only from the dried stomach of a baby goat is then added. Then comes the precious saffron. Less than 5 grams for every 100 litres of milk. The saffron is repeatedly rinsed through the milk to extract all the flavour and colour. This dairy reintroduced the use of saffron in cheese making about 10 years ago, after it had completely disappeared from the region. The curds are placed in traditional rush baskets and cooked in the hot way. They are then dry salted and matured for a month or longer. So tell me what's happening here.
Yes, we are taking the curd that is now ready to be put in the shapes, and these are the peppercorns, the black pepper that is at this moment.
So that, when combined with the saffron, will give it a little bit of a...
Yes, it's a very spicy taste, and this is what we like the most of our cheeses. We use these baskets because they are the historical baskets that were used starting from the very ancient old times, but the taste is totally different.
Salvatore, can I have a taste?
Yes.
Look at that. The saffron really...
It's really impressive, you know?
Really.
And it starts here when the cheese has to gain its taste. But the saffron is still there, and you start...
Wow, that's the
pleasure.
Pure saffron, just lifts the saffron right
It's
out.
great. The name of the cheese is Piacentino, that means a cheese that likes. Yeah. So maybe it's come from very ancient times, from Norman times maybe.
So, but this really is a traditional cheese.
Absolutely. This cheese belongs only from the province of Enna and some comuni that are authorized. The future is a little bit difficult because it's not easy to maintain this activity, but we like this kind of cheese because we had a passion for cheese.
With such limited production, the future of this Sicilian benchmark is now recognized as endangered by the slow food presidium, and one can only hope that they'll help to raise awareness and ensure this great tradition continues. Most of the cow's milk cheeses made in Sicily share their name with similar cheeses made on the mainland. But there's one unique cheese made here. Its name is Ragusano. Ragusano is Sicily's most respected cow's milk cheese. Adapted from a Caciocavallo recipe, it's made in large blocks weighing between 12 and 16 kilos. These are known as scaluni, literally meaning step, and once proved a very popular export to millions of homesick Sicilian migrants living in the United States in the years following World War I. Ragusano is traditionally made by melting fresh curds in very hot water and then kneading them until soft and elastic. The hot lump is then placed in a rectangular wooden mould lined with blocks to cool. The following day, the young cheese is immersed in a brine bath until a thin rind has formed. These days, the name and technique has been widely adopted by large modern industrial dairies. And a similar shaped cheese called Caciocavallo Palermitano is found in the northwest of the island. But nothing beats the unique personality and flavour of the original farm-made cheese, which comes from Ragusa or Syracuse provinces. Sadly, these are becoming increasingly hard to find, and the very finest examples are still handmade using raw milk collected from native Modicano cows. Today, Ragusano is often sold after aging for less than 4 months. But to fully appreciate the complexity of this cheese and its unique flavours, the best examples are carefully aged for at least a year or longer. I'd been warned the maturation of authentic Ragusano was unusual, but I was completely unprepared for the extraordinary scenes at my next stop. This place is extraordinary. I've never seen anything like it. All these cheeses hanging by ropes and everything. Gosh, and the smell in here, it's really, really, really pongy. It's real, you know, it's smelly, no?
The aroma is strong. We are surrounded by more than 10,000 cheeses. It's very strong. This is typical of how these cheeses are aged. They are tied and hung with rope over the wooden beams as if being carried by a horse. They are spaced evenly in order to breathe. It's not possible to store this many cheeses any other way.
These tanks here, the cheese is put into these tanks here for about a month, and they're 5 meters deep under a big salt brine solution.
Sono 5 metri di profondo, pieno di formaggi.
So they go under here for yeah, look at this. I love this system of holding them in, just ramming them up against the ceiling with a big old piece of wood. That's extraordinary.
Questi sono I formaggi che si appendono.
After the cheese has come from the salt baths, it is hung here by ropes like saddlebags on a horse.
Sono di 5-6 mesi.
They are hung like this to age, mature for 5 to 6 months.
È un formaggio già pronto perché è stato il consorzio fa delle analisi per dare la DOP. Si taglia, si prova al consorzio di ricerca, se è ok allora viene questo qua. No, ok,
zero.
No.
So basically the cheeses are tasted for quality, and if they're okay and they meet the requirements, they get this stamp on the top of them. Otherwise, no stamp.
Ok.
Let's go taste some. The moment of truth.
Yes.
You know, that really doesn't taste as bad as it looks. It's quite salty, but it's got a lovely cow milk flavour to it. And it'd be great with a glass of local red wine. I reckon I could learn to like that. Great, thank you. After tasting Ragusano and witnessing how it's matured, I understand why the Sicilians make such a lot of fuss about this great cheese. I can also understand why the health authorities may not appreciate the traditional method of maturation with ropes and wood, but the flavour is certainly unlike any of the island's other cheeses. Villa Daphne lies nestled in the southern hills of the province of Palermo in central Sicily. This magnificent home is also a working farm with a dairy, accommodation and restaurant facilities. The property covers 580 hectares and boasts a flock of 600 milking sheep and 100 Pisata Rosa cows. They produce a variety of cheeses here daily, and tourists are encouraged to stay on the property and visit the dairy or participate in cooking classes that focus on food grown on the farm. The owner of this beautiful property is Pina Mascarella, and our first stop was the dairy to sample her traditional cheeses.
Questo è un pecorino con origano.
Ah, with oregano.
Origano.
So you have pecorino with peppers, pecorino with pepper, pecorino with little bits of chili in, and pecorino with oregano.
Oregano.
Okay.
Anche con olive e pistacchio.
With pistachio and one with olives as well.
Olive, sì.
Oh, I look forward to trying those.
Molto buono.
Yeah.
Molto
Very
buono.
good.
Allora, questo è il caciocavallo che palermitano, tipico formaggio palermitano.
This is the caciocavallo cappallarementano.
Si fanno qua in queste forme
It is
grandi,
typical to prepare in a much larger
a
form.
stagionare in questo luogo di stagionatura per
We
almeno
age it for a minimum of 6
I've
months.
never seen caciocavallo like that.
Sì. Questo è un
This is a
formaggio
very particular cheese. It takes a lot of patience to
per
prepare.
poterlo preparare. Questo è olio di oliva, olio
We
extravergine.
use olive oil, only extra virgin
Quando il
olive oil.
formaggio arriva a 4 mesi di stagionatura,
Once the cheese has been aged for 4 months,
tutto l'esterno
we
si
prepare
prepara
by rubbing the skin all over with the olive oil to stop the mold from growing any
con
further.
l'olio di oliva.
See. So after 4 months, this cheese is washed with olive oil or just brushed with olive oil, which will keep the mold down. That's a lovely smell. And then
Tutto il pepe nero macinato.
it's covered with pepper.
Pepe. Sì,
Can I have a taste? Got one down here.
sì,
Look at that beautiful white colour.
questo. Si può mangiare anche col pepe, chi ha.
See?
Con buon bicchiere nero d'avola è favoloso, buono.
Very nice. And those peppers add just a little bit of lovely tang to the sweetness of the sheep's milk. You can always tell a sense of a region's food culture by visiting a local market. So before the afternoon's cooking class, I decided to take a quick look up in the village to see what was in season. Villa Daphne specialises in teaching local Sicilian recipes using the many varieties of cheese made on the farm dairy. And on the day I visited, this included a local pizza dough recipe from Pina's mother.
Okay, today for dinner, preparing 4 appetizers, one sauce for the feast, the second, and the dessert. And special, the pizza of Nonna Giovanna. Allora, starting with impasse the pizza.
Nonna Giovanna's pizza dough is quite different to the dough made on the mainland. It uses 2 types of flour, about 3 times the amount of yeast, and requires not 1 rise, but 2. This dough was much softer and more oily than any pizza dough I've come across, and almost felt like a focaccia. It's a lengthy and laborious process to knead, but it's clear Nonna's hands are no strangers to pounding the dough into submission over and over again. Once ready, the dough is put into a deep rectangular pan. The Caciocavallo cheese always goes on first, followed by the homemade tomato sauce with onions. This is quite generously incorporated into the dough. Anchovies are added, and then finely chopped herbs of rosemary, oregano and thyme. More olive oil is drizzled over the top before it's baked for 30 minutes. In the meantime, chefs set the class to work on some other traditional recipes, including Sicily's famous melanzane. To make the best melanzane, you cut thick strips of eggplant, sprinkle with salt, layer in a bowl and rest for half an hour. Pan fry until golden brown. Ladle some tomato pasta sauce on the base of a dish and place the eggplant slices on top. Add grated pecorino along with fresh basil leaves. Alternate all 3 layers until you've filled the dish. And then bake until the cheese is golden brown. Delicious. And what a great place to learn about traditional Sicilian cuisine. Before I visited Sicily, I was told to expect an island full of contrasts and contradictions, and of course, the traditional friendliness of its people. I've been lucky enough to find rare and interesting traditional cheeses never seen anywhere else. And having travelled all across Sicily, I'm most impressed by the way tradition has survived here. I'm not sure how long it's going to last for, but whilst it does, it's fantastic to see. Great cheese. So these are the saffron fields?
Yes.
Learn how to change a tire on cheese slices.
Cheese slices, I love it.
Cheese slices. Cheese slices. Join me, we'll stand for
Cheese life in Sicily.